Greetings, traveler. It is a pleasure to see you. Yes, it hasn't been snowing lately, but the wind is blowing hard. But please, don't stand out there in the weather. You are more than welcome to enter my humble abode and share the fire with me.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Well, traveler, I gotta admit, the Irish fella has had a pretty rough week so far. We've been kind of slow at work, so they give us busy work to sort of keep us out of trouble, and I appreciate it because we're not being sent home, which is always good. But, you know, sometimes they throw a curveball at you, and they got me yesterday. It was a lot of physical labor, bending and stooping, and the old Irish fellow was hurting so bad that I got home a little after 4. I immediately took my sleeping pills, applied a 40-ounce malt liquor, and I was out like a light at 6:30. Today was a little bit better, but I'm still hurting. But I felt I had to share with you brothers that I've decided to turn another corner. Now, I readily admit that, yes, I am the person who has taken the road less traveled. In fact, when I think about it, my whole life has pretty much been taking the road less traveled. Sometimes by choice, sometimes by chance, sometimes by karma. and as the caption to this picture says, now I don't know where the fuck I am. But, as I've said before, I'm still traveling. And one advantage of sort of being in the cleaning mode is that it gives you time to think. So I've been thinking really hard about what I'm going to do in the future. Now, I'll admit that being scattered and unfocused as I am does have its disadvantages. But I have learned one thing I did learn is that I can't force myself to do anything. I've seen it happen with my writing where I would try to push myself to produce content and my brain would, or I guess a good phrase would be the lock up. So I realized that, my mental component may think of some desired course of action, but now I know I can't really commit to it until I have a mental convergence. And that's what has happened to me this week. When you've taken a pill and you've managed to survive the red pill range state, you know that there's an entire new landscape that you didn't even know existed suddenly there in your view. Now, this channel has been a great help to me as I continue my psychological nudity and hardcore evaluation. Because I feel obligated to give you brothers the best content. So I don't do a video until I'm really motivated to do so. And it surprises me sometimes how much energy it takes out of me. Now, one thing that happened to me that I have not mentioned before was that when I did my first Mustache Mary response video, for however long that was, I was standing. Usually I'm sitting relaxed. And with my old setup, I could sit and reach both laptops by just extending an arm. Now things are a little different, but I'm making it work. But, it's been slowly building in the back of my mind that, I need to do something else. And I'll have to admit, the caption to this picture, it's not really how I feel now. I mean, I can tell. A continual diet of red pills has killed off the old man. In fact, I'm wearing a band on my right hand in the position that indicates that the person wearing it is a widower. Because my old life is dead. It's a constant reminder to me that I am reborn as Homo rationalis in embryo. I know that having achieved those few minutes of serenity, that it is a mental state that I can achieve again. And I want to do that. Not only to expand my knowledge base, I guess you could say, and to achieve my full potential as a bona fide badass motherfucker. You know, if the only person you're relying on is you, you have to push yourself. Who else is going to do it? It's like the man said, one of the hardest decisions you'll ever face in life is choosing whether to walk away or try harder. And that's what I'm going to do, brothers. I'm going to try harder. So, I was going to do this as the game break, but as I felt this man, yes, I'm at a loss for words again. Damn. As I thought about it, I decided, that the game is going to be a bit of a distraction. So I decided to do my standard pictures instead. So I've decided I need to turn another corner. And as such, I've decided that I need to take a little break from producing red pill content. Now, do not worry. I have not overdosed on blue or black pills. It's just that, that like every man going his own way, that the only person who can truly motivate you is you. Now, as I was soaking in the tub to try to get my back to stop hurting, I was searching through pictures that would be appropriate to this subject. And I described in Renaissance Man how I had that massive hours-long mental convergence, and I could just feel my head just in a state of charged concentration as all the dominoes started to fall and produced a pattern. So while I was in the tub, I thought about that for a moment, and I got just for a few seconds, I focused, and I received such a rush of energy. I was like, oh man. So I was thinking to myself, now that I know that I can easily achieve this concentration of attention state, that I need to focus and use it on something that's worthwhile. And yes, as I believe it's Anubis says, all things are possible. Who you are is limited by who you think you are. And that's absolutely true, brothers. I know that unlimited potential is in my grasp. I also know that I have to put in the work to make it happen. And although mentally I know this is true, physically I haven't really been focused enough to really do it. To really focus on my physical being. And it was just tonight that I realized that I'm out of balance. That's the whole point. Hurting so much yesterday, just made me realize that, man, I gotta stop this half-stepping and really step my game up. So that's what I'm going to do. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." Now, of course, this is just a little bit of ego talking. I already know I'm a bona fide badass motherfucker, but I gotta prove it to other people too, by not just being able to turn a smooth phrase or act like Don Rickles on crack, or even being able to impart wisdom. I've noticed I've sort of gone through a streak that, I watch red pill content and then I comment, and the person who runs that channel gives me a heart. It's happened over and over again, and it's been a great source of pleasure and validation that I am saying something that resonates with you brothers, and that this isn't an ego boost. In fact, it's one of the things that's kept me grounded, to know that my mind is in the right place and I'm producing content and comments that resonate with you, Red Pill Brothers. But I also know that, as I've said before, if you are not actively pushing forward, entropy is pushing you back. And yeah, I'm old, weak, slow, and tired. And I'm still going to be old, slow, and tired, but I'm not going to be weak. I decided I need to work on my physical condition hardcore. I've given up drinking coffee. I haven't gone without coffee for 2 weeks. Lately, I've been drinking green tea and water at work. Now, unfortunately, I have been drinking too much beer, but for the time being, I'm going to give that up too. Along with smoking too many Swisher Sweet sized unflavored cigars. It is enjoyable, but it's not really doing me any good. So I'm thinking I need to just drop all of that and focus on improving my physical condition hardcore. After all, if I want to share my exercise techniques with you, it's like the student needs to be a little bit more advanced than the students. Now, I have known people who said they were learning right along with teaching their students, and that sometimes they were only one chapter ahead of the students in the manual. but they were pushing themselves to be better so they could be a good teacher of this vital information. And that's what I have to do. Sure, I'm doing okay on the mental and spiritual parts, but the physical is lagging behind. I'm out of balance and I need to correct that. I mean, and I need to be able to focus and end up being just like my man here. Now, I was looking at some deal, and I found out who this guy was. I can't remember his name right now, but this is in 1936. And he is decidedly not impressed. That's why he's doing that. Now, it's kind of unfortunate that this guy didn't have a happy ending, but he stood his ground and stood firm for what he believed in. That's why he's my hero. And if you're a man going your own way, you're already doing this. You know, he's not quite doing the ghost in plain sight deal, but he is definitely bona fide. That's why he is the man. I was also reminded, when I was selecting pictures, I came across this one, which you've seen before, but I think it bears repeating. Most of our lives, most of us live in realities determined by others, imprinted in our brains by education, by religion, by politics, by the authorities. Of course, that is from Timothy Leary. Yeah, he figured it out a while ago. You have to recognize the cultural programming that's affecting you, and you have to actively decide to stop and change it. It was rough going without TV when I did, but after I turned the corner on that, I surprised myself. Back in the day, I was divorced, but still living in the same apartment with the ex-wife and the son. We had a regular TV out in the living room that was hooked up to the antenna. And almost nobody went to the living room. I could have gone out there and watched whatever. But I remember that the only thing I watched on that TV was football. And I didn't even recognize that I had turned the corner back then. So, I'm not really worried about my legacy. I mean, literally, that, as this caption says, if I died tomorrow, what would be the one thing you will always remember about me? Well, on my side, hell, I don't know what's impressing you with what I say. And believe me, unlike a classic Southern Baptist preacher who is as much putting on a performance as delivering gospel truth, damn, I lost that thread. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, I'm not worried about leaving a huge legacy. As I've said before, if my videos, whenever someone finds them, helps one man, well, that's good enough for me. Because other people put themselves at risk for being doxxed, for being harassed, for being deplatformed. Because they felt it was so important that it was worth the risk. And that's why I do what I'm doing. So it doesn't matter if I get credit. If I help another man escape those plantation chains, whether I'm dead or alive, it don't matter. I have done my job. And now that I've had that little mini convergence and I'm ready to turn the corner, this meme from the Liberty Eagle is absolutely true concerning me. I am no longer accepting things I cannot change. It is now time to change the things I cannot accept. Of course, I can't accept hurting all the time, but that I've noticed there's a difference between hurting because your body is abused and maybe injured, and the hurt you get when you're exercising and your body is adapting and it's growing stronger with more endurance. I mean, I want to be around to enjoy my retirement, so what better time than now to turn the corner on inaction and proceed with bold action. And this is a pretty perfect description. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. I kind of modified this a little bit in my about blurb. I said, the only person I should try to be better than tomorrow is the person I am today. That's absolutely true. So don't worry. That mask you see, it's not going back on my face. No. I am more than happy to be the real me and show my ass. Because there are some of you out there that appreciate that. We are in the brutal honesty regime. I don't need to lie to my brothers, and I certainly don't need to lie to myself. So yes, I have to be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. I do not produce a video unless I'm motivated to do so. Because you brothers deserve nothing less than my best. And I can say, I can look back on my body of work and say, yeah, I can see the changes I've made where I've grown. I listen to some of my earlier videos or watch and I just cringe. It's like, oh my goodness. You know, you were such an amateur then. Well, I'm still an amateur, you know. I have more experience, but I haven't leveled up yet. But don't worry, that is coming. Besides, I have to, because there is always someone who wants to take your place. I remember in the Jerry Kramer book, Instant Replay, he kept an extensive diary about the 1967 Green Bay Packers football season. And, you know, Kramer is, he's reasonably intelligent, reasonably skilled, you know. Hey, if you're operating at a pro level, you're up there in the stratosphere. But he remembers that there's always fresh meat showing up who don't give a fuck about you. They're just trying to make a name for themselves. And he was really upset because this new guy, I think his name was Gail Gillingham, showed up. Offensive lineman. And he said, man, for so many years, I was the fastest lineman on the team. And now he is. And it's like, I'm jealous because he's everything I was. I have more experience, but, you know, he can physically outperform me. And that happens to everybody. The important thing is how you respond to a situation like that. So that's why I like this shirt. Got a picture of a wolf with a bad attitude on it, and the caption reads, "Careful, boy, I am old for good reason." And in my case, I can certainly agree with that. I'm old because I survived when I could have been dead more than once. And I have thought about it a time or six, wondering how I'm gonna make things work when I don't have the proper tools. I don't have the proper work instructions. I don't have the proper skill. But like the man said, just because you don't see a way doesn't mean God doesn't have a way. Having touched the infinite more than once and received verification of what results will come from going on the path I've taken, it's given me a lot of spiritual strength. And I've survived just on that for a long time, but I need to step my game up and achieve balance. Everyone should. And I'm reminded every time I look at this meme. No, Socrates said the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Yes, I already know I have that potential to become Homo rationalis, tempered by enlightened self-interest. I've already taken a few steps along that road, but I need to shift into overdrive. Reminds me of a bad joke. This is from Richard Pryor, live in concert. This is when Pryor was at his peak. He was talking about his dogs. He said that the police had Dobermans. He said, I saw him let one loose on a young brother about 16. And police jumped out the car, and the kid was in the alley, and he was low running. I mean, he was all bent over and running like Jesse Owens on crack. He said, and the dog was on his ass. And it must have got good to the brother, because he shifted into overdrive on the dog. The brother had a cap on. He turned it around so the bill was backwards, dropped even lower, and boom, he was gone. He said, it looked like to me like the dog said, shit. Motherfuck that nigga, man. You ain't gonna kill me out here. Give me a biscuit, shit. Yeah, man, that's what I gotta do. I gotta shift into overdrive. So I'm not afraid to do that. Well, hell, I'm not afraid to do almost anything. Now, that doesn't mean I'm gonna be doing something stupid like skydiving or bungee jumping. Oh, hell to the nah. My enlightened self-interest stops me from doing stupid shit like that. Because like I said before, yeah, it's fun. You know, I've seen video of it that it looks like a blast, but you take that jump, you're committed. I mean, is the chute packed correctly? Or if you're jumping, is the rope long enough to stretch once you reach its limit? And not too long so you end up smacking your head on the concrete down there? Yeah, that's not a good look, Junior. So I don't have any doubts, but I printed out this picture. It's on my wall where I can look on it every day. Yes, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. And I'm not doubting my self-worth. No. But you know, you've got to motivate yourself and see the value that is within you. And you have to tell yourself that the increased value you get from your activity is gonna be worth the trouble. So that's what I'm doing. Because I know this is our manifest destiny. To be able to be in your home and make a portal to elsewhere when, just like that? Oh, hell yeah. Go on a little sightseeing tour to somewhere else and then come back home safely? It's possible. And if by my sacrifice and my example, if sometime in the unknown future, Homo rationalis is able to do this, then I've done my job. In fact, maybe I'll hear about it when I'm beyond this physical plane into whatever else is out there. And someone says, yeah, you were the one that motivated me to study hard. You know, and learn temporal and spatial synaptics enough so I could do this and not be scared. You know, even if he doesn't know me by name, all he knows is that some entity has touched his mind and distilled truth to him. Hey, that's good enough for me. And another reason why I'm doing this is because I know hockey mask time is coming. Gotta be prepared. Even the man here says you gotta be ready. He says a free people ought not only to be armed and disciplined, but they should have sufficient arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government. And that is a quote from the man, George Washington. Hell yeah. Ugh. There we go. So, brothers, I just wanted you to know I'm not going to be quite as active as I was, because I need to back away from immersing myself in red pill content for a bit. Now, do not worry. I will still be lurking. I'll still give likes. And I might say a few words, but you're not going to get any long speeches like I've been doing for a while. So, please do not worry about me. I am just fine. I just need to shift gears and let the hamster wheel precess a little bit and then spin in a different direction so I can maintain my focus and balance. Believe me, I am and remain a brother of the Red Pill Awakening. There is no way that I'm going to walk away from this path of solitude and reflection, which has been so rewarding to subjugate myself on the plantation to another woman who will almost guaranteed use estrogen-fueled emotional extortion to abuse me. No, that ain't happening. I look back on my journey so far, and as I've said before, the results have been outstanding and exceptional. But I know they can get even better. So I need to center, balance, and focus myself so that I can continue to produce quality content for you brothers. Because you brothers deserve nothing less than my best. So, I mentioned in a video a while back that I was planning a road trip in March. Right about now is when I should be leaving, but decided, no, don't need to do that. I need to focus on this first. And then head towards my future. So, traveler, I am so glad that you came by to see me so that I could testify to you that despite all the gains that I've made on my journey so far, I know there are still more for me to achieve. There is still more for me to accomplish. And I have nothing in my way, especially now that I've achieved another mental convergence and know in my heart and in my soul and confirmed by a touch from the infinite that it is showtime. I hope when I show up again, I will still be able to produce quality content for you brothers, because that's what you deserve. So as you continue on your journey, remember, I still say some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet.